being rude to Miss Chandler.
What was Miss Chandler's position?
Miss Chandler was essentially the receptionist in the Department of Corrections. When you wanted to go back to see the chief or the assistant chief, the deputy chiefs, there was a security door, and you had to be greeted.
She had the buzzer.
She had the buzzer, exactly.
So the plaintiff at some point said that this Miss Chandler was irrelevant to her. She didn't have to interact with her. And
right.
She was basically the gatekeeper to Chief Williams.
Yeah, to Chief Williams and the other officers in the department. Yes.
Now, on behalf of Miss Robinson, what is it that she disclosed that she was punished for?
Your Honor, before I go on that, can I just pipe in on Miss Chandler? There is no evidence that she was terminated for Miss Chandler's complaint. The city includes some complaint by her, but there is no affirmative evidence that she was terminated on the basis of that complaint. There's no bridge for that. So I see that as pretty much irrelevant. I mean, because Chief Williams was the decision maker, and there's nothing by Chief Williams that says, I terminated Miss Robinson for Miss Chandler's complaint.
Now, there was an allegation in there somewhere that Lieutenant Woods and Miss Chandler were best friends, and that Miss Lieutenant Woods had a part in terminating your client, Miss Robinson, because of her alleged treatment of Miss Chandler. Isn't that some kind of part of it?
No, Your Honor. There's no evidence, and plaintiff in her deposition says she has no evidence that Miss Chandler and Lieutenant Woods were best friends. There's no evidence that Lieutenant Woods had any part in in the termination process. It was all Assistant Chief Williams who said that plaintiff was rude to him, pointed a finger at him, and then after that interaction, he got the complaint from Miss Chandler directly, and then he decided to terminate her for failing her probationary period due to her insubordination.
All right, now.
We don't have the link there, though. I mean, this is the attorney putting it together. There is nothing from Mr. Williams or Chief Williams saying, I terminated Miss Robinson for this complaint. All they said is probationary standards. So, I mean, that link just isn't there.
Well, I mean, I see the part where it was alleged that Chief Williams said that you're motioning with your hand is disrespectful. I see that.
And then he receives the complaint from Miss Chandler.
What is it that she disclosed? It's very difficult to win a case like this. What is it that she disclosed that she was punished for? And was the punishment putting her at Grady? Is that the retaliation?
Well, here would be the termination, because it came out in discovery that the move to Grady was done prior to all of this. So right now we're just looking at the termination as the adverse action. But as far as, this is all in terms of what is the disclosure here, it's, the encouragement to, I guess, admit information about, not putting everything in a statement about her husband being active duty and being relocated. There's the removal of signatures from her post statements that Lieutenant Woods was uploading, which Miss Robinson stated, in Defendant's Exhibit 9, she felt that Lieutenant Woods was purposely falsifying her post statements by removing her signature before uploading the document, which made her believe that Lieutenant Woods was also falsifying other statements that were given to post. And of course, there are.
What would be Lieutenant Woods' motivation to do that?
I don't know, Your Honor. At one point, the plaintiff stated that she just felt that Lieutenant Woods didn't want her to move on through probation, through the post process. But my opinion on that is that kind of goes to the intent of Lieutenant Woods, which we, defendant goes into that a lot in their motion. She didn't intentionally do this. She didn't do it purposefully. That's not mentioned in the statute in Forrester. They don't talk about intent. They just talk about the plaintiff having a reasonable belief. So I don't think in reading the cases that what the purpose behind her intent of doing that, if that would be, if that would even be relevant. The fact that she's potentially violating these laws is enough.
Well, here's the standard. Prima facie case, one, the employer falls under the state's definition of public employer. Obviously, that's true.
Yeah.
Right.
Employee disclosed a violation or non-compliance with a law, rule, or regulation to either a supervisor or government agency. I don't know that we have that. The employee was then discharged, suspended, demoted, or suffered some other adverse employment decision by the public employer, and there's some causal connection between 2 and 3. Now, that's the Forrester case. And I just don't see that here after reading the pleadings and the entire record. Is the city willing to do anything to settle the case with the plaintiff?
Your Honor, no, at this time, we haven't discussed any settlement of this case. The city feels very strongly that the facts support that there was no retaliation.
I don't see that the plaintiff can make a prima facie case. Okay?
Exactly.
My review of the record. But is the city willing to pay her anything to settle the case and not have to deal with an appeal?
I don't have any authority to settle the case at this.
Is that something you would consider, counsel, for Ms. Robinson?
Yes, we would, Your Honor. And Your Honor, could I just ask what specifically under element 2 do you not? I just like your thoughts on that. Because there's definitely complaints. So is it just the violation or non-compliance with law?
I just don't think, whether or not, I mean, there's no evidence to me that Lieutenant Woods did anything intentionally. I think that the record shows that Ms. Robinson was careless or loose with her answers to these questions. Why did you get what were the issues? Why were you separated from the reserves, right? And why were you, something about a name change? She divorced.
Name change.
She and the husband that went to active duty got divorced.
Yes.
And so, if you just, it wasn't the first answer about the separation from the reserves, I didn't complete my contract. Well, but you didn't complete your contract. Yeah. Why? Because my husband was in active duty and I guess I went with him. And it's not that hard to just say, why did you get a name change in a divorce? Well, I would assume the answer is that she got divorced and didn't want his name anymore. I mean, it looks like to me, counsel, that Post was not satisfied with the application of your client. Is that correct, Ms. Davis?
And then
it definitely was that Post saw the errors, and we totally admit that Lieutenant Woods uploaded documents in error. Documents the same. None of the information that was uploaded to Post was inaccurate, untruthful. All of it was just statements that were, the name change didn't have Ms. Plaintiff's signature on it. Same information, just lacked a signature. So Post wanted a signature. There's no evidence, and plaintiff admits in her deposition that Lieutenant Woods did not tell her omit this information. She said, just say you did complete your contract, keep it short. And plaintiff wasn't satisfied with that. She wanted more information in there, and she put in the statement what she wanted to put in the statement, and Lieutenant Woods uploaded that statement just as plaintiff asked.
Well, let me say this. Your counsel's asking me this. 1, it is a public employer. 2 is the one I have a huge problem with, that she didn't really disclose anything that was relevant under this case or the prima facie requirements of the Whistleblower Act. 3, she was discharged, but I don't see a relation between 2 and 3. That's my problem.
And Lieutenant Woods had nothing to do with the termination.
I have, and I think that counsel has agreed that Lieutenant Woods did not terminate her, that it was the chief. Now, would the city pay $5,000 to her to get it to go away?
I can consult with my client.
And let's do this. Y'all go into a breakout room. Miss Romero, you there? Can you unmute?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Put them in a breakout room and let's see what we can do. But
Judge.
I've got to grant the city's motion. I don't see a relation between 2 and 3. Certainly 1 is true. It's a public employer. 3 is true. She was discharged. I didn't see where she disclosed anything about a violation of a law or procedure or a regulation. So let's put them in a breakout room, see if we can settle this for $5,000.
Now,
And-
Judge, we may be overestimating my facility with the Zoom. I apologize, Chandra and Amanda. Normally, April is our tech guru, and
tell you
she's
what, I tell you what,
much smarter than me.
let me see if I can get Candace to come in.
Well, there's
Hey,
April.
this is April. How y'all doing?
Hey, thank you,
Hey,
April.
I'm still here. I was working on something else, so I'm going to take back over the host privileges.
Okay.
We are on YouTube Live as well. So you all just hold on
Ms.
just
Davis,
a second.
Are you an outside attorney or a city attorney?
Outside attorney.
Okay, can you get in touch with somebody today?
I sure can.
All right, Ms. Woods, y'all let me know. Thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes,
I don't know if we're going to be able to do that today because this is part of we filed motions regarding a bankruptcy. So it would be up to the trustee on whether or not she would settle. So I don't know if I'm going to be
let's
able
do this.
to get
Let's
in
see if
touch.
we can get an offer out.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get an offer.
Okay.
Okay, no matter what y'all do, Ms. Davis, submit me an order granting your summary judgment.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
Your
y'all
Honor.
for your courtesy and professionalism. Have a good day.
Thank you, you too.
How do I turn this off?
It's a new world for all of us.
Hello.
Hello? I don't know how we get into
I don't know either.
I'm
Oh,
definitely.
did you all still want to go to the breakout room?
We probably should, just for at least a
Okay,
Yeah,
all
moment.
we
right.
can.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to send you all.
Here,
over
I'm
there.
going to step away. I'll be right back.
So that's Chandra and Amanda. Okay. All right, you should have received something now
Yep, I
alerting
did.
you to go. Okay, have a great day.
April, thank you.
I'm going to pause YouTube.
YouTube.
As well. Mhm.